What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and something about this Carlee Russell situation is kind of throwing me off. If you don't know who Carlee Russell is, she is a 25-year-old woman from Hoover, Alabama that went missing on Thursday night. If you want the full details, check out my prior video, but long story short, she was on the phone with her family, and she claimed that she saw a little child on the side of the road and wanted to pull over to help that child. She called 911. She got back on the phone with her sister-in-law, was on the phone with her sister-in-law as she got out of her vehicle. The sister-in-law heard her approach the child and say, "Are you okay?" She said something to the child. The sister-in-law did not hear a response back at all, but she did hear Carlee scream, and then all she heard was basically, I believe, the sounds of traffic, because I don't believe the phone even hung up. And the crazy part is, law enforcement arrived like 3 to 4 minutes later. Very quickly. But this woman, Carlee, has vanished. Now, the part that is throwing me off is the traffic cam footage. I showed you all in my last video, and we're going to look at it again here, because something about this traffic cam footage is really throwing me off. So, as you can see, it is nighttime. Now, I don't have the best eyes. Maybe Carlee does. But I find it hard to believe that someone would spot a little child in the darkness from so far away. Yet we see that Carlee pulls over and continues going for a while. Now, obviously, you don't want to come to an immediate stop, but she keeps going a little ways before she actually comes to a complete stop. Now, the video footage is really grainy, but I can confirm that Carlee does get out of the vehicle. She gets out of the vehicle and then goes around the vehicle. We know that for sure, right? But here's my thing. I don't think that Carlee from however far away saw that something, I don't think that Carlee from so far away saw that there was a child on the side of the road where she actually stopped her vehicle. I would think that because it is nighttime, she probably saw the child and then started stopping her vehicle. So everyone is focused on this area where Carlee's vehicle actually comes to a stop. But I believe that there's a huge possibility, especially considering the fact that it is nighttime, that Carlee may have seen this child and then started slowing down her vehicle while maybe she was mentally processing what she saw. Maybe she was going ahead and calling 911. Maybe she was figuring out, am I going to stop to help this kid or not? I don't know, but I believe that there's a possibility that Carlee saw the child or whatever it was before her vehicle actually comes into the camera angle, before you actually see her vehicle in the camera screen pulling over to the side of the road. Now, of course, I could be totally wrong here. You know, I'm not here to tell you this is a fact. I'm just here to share my observations. I could be totally wrong, and if I am, that's fine. I'm just saying that in the dead of night, well, I say the dead of night, but it's what? Pretty late. It's not like it's the middle of the day. So I don't know. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. But I don't know if she would have seen a child on the side of the road from that far away to, go ahead and pull over and just keep going and going to where the child ultimately was. I find it hard to believe that she would have seen that. And also, you have to ask the question, why did no one else stop? If there's a kid on the side of the road, you would think that someone would stop. But then again, it's 2023. people ain't worried about other people. And look what happened to Carlee when she was trying to help the kid on the side of the road. Now we don't know where this woman is. So I guess people do have a valid reason as to why they don't want to get involved in stuff that's not necessarily their business. But yeah, I strongly believe that there's a huge possibility that whatever Carlee saw was not where her car stopped, but actually off camera. But I could be wrong. But here's another thing. There's constantly vehicles going by. So if Carlee, I believe, were to have walked backwards towards where I believe she may have seen the child, then you think that you would have seen, even though the footage is really grainy, the footage is hella grainy. And you can try to enhance it. It's not great footage. I hate that we always have to deal with grainy footage. But I believe that if Carlee was walking along the side of the road, you probably would have been able to make out a figure walking along the side of the road just due to all the headlights that are constantly passing by, because there's a steady stream of vehicles. The entire time, from the time Carlee pulls over to the time law enforcement arrives on the scene, there is a steady stream of vehicles, which makes the story even crazier, because where in the hell could this woman have gone? And, you know, the footage is grainy, and I keep thinking, is there something missing? Was there a jump cut here that I didn't catch? Like, did law enforcement remove a chunk of the video? I was thinking there may be a gap, because we don't see a car pull up to Carlee. We don't really, I mean, the footage is grainy, but it doesn't seem like we're seeing Carlee walk alongside the road. We're seeing constant headlights. We don't see a child. We don't see Carlee. It seems as if the only place Carlee could have gone is right into the dark area, into the woods. So, I mean, it's really throwing me off, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking at it time and time again. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there's other footage out there. But from the footage I am looking at, I can't help but feel like, you know, if someone were to, you know, in this situation, I can't help but feel like she must have seen something and then pulled her car over past whatever she saw. But it doesn't seem as if she ever got to walk back in that direction, and we can't necessarily see anyone walking in her direction, and there's no vehicle around. Now, the wooded area, I talked about it in the last video, it's not a dense wooded area, and there's a whole neighborhood right behind the wooded area. I do believe that there's a little trail, maybe what you would call a dirt road. So maybe someone could have been on an ATV or a golf cart or something like that. People are already throwing out those theories, but it just really almost feels and seems as if this woman just vanished in thin air, because law enforcement was there in minutes, and there was no sign of Carlee. Yet her wig, her Apple Watch, her cell phone, and her hat are all left behind. Now, I've never human trafficked anyone, and I never plan on doing so. But I would think that if you're someone that's trying to kidnap someone, you wouldn't want them to have items that they could easily discard that would leave clues. Like, you don't want someone to have a hat on, because that's something that would easily fall off, get lost along the way, and that's evidence that can be used against you, right? Same thing with the wig. The Apple Watch could be tracked, the cell phone could be tracked. But even though this footage is grainy, you feel like if there was this big struggle on the side of the road, maybe you would be able to make out something, or at the very least, maybe other cars would see it. And then again, like we said, law enforcement arrives in minutes. At least that's how it appears. So obviously, none of us know what happened yet. And this has really left me stumped, because none of it is making sense. I mean, and when I say it's not making sense, I mean, by looking at the traffic cam footage, it just almost seems like, I mean, the only thing that could have happened is that she would have got snatched into the woods or something. We don't see a car pull up. We can't make out any people on camera doing anything. We can make out the fact that she gets out of the vehicle, but that's about it. So with that being said, I'm sure there will be other updates. People are going to pick this footage apart. Maybe by the time you're watching this video, the case is solved. I never really know. You never really know how these things play out. But for now, let me know your thoughts about this down in the comments. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.